News with Lauren Stallone.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Mayors across southwestern Ontario joined with state leaders from Michigan today, calling on the Canadian federal government to fund a high-performance via rail system between Windsor and Toronto. CTV's Daryl Newcomb brings us the details.
Passenger rail service in southwestern Ontario as a national infrastructure priority.
London Mayor Josh Morgan, flanked by mayors from across southwestern Ontario and a delegation from Michigan's state government. The group calling on the Canadian federal government to improve via rail service between Toronto and Windsor, highlighting an opportunity to link higher-speed passenger rail upgrades between Chicago and Detroit with the Canadian government's plan to build the Alto high-speed rail line between Toronto and Quebec City.
The current rolling stock that VIA has now, which can travel at 200 kilometers per hour, but is not reaching that capacity because of issues with train signals, train crossings, and the fact that freight does have priority on that rail line.
The group is calling on the Canadian government to fund what it calls international high-performance rail in its next budget, which would require track improvements as well as a border security rail facility in Windsor.
The state of Michigan, who already have $40 million, $43 million earmarked for the project, they're good to go, provided our federal government gives the green light and unlocks $46 million on our side.
The delegation from Michigan included a representative from the Democratic governor's office, as well as a Republican state senator.
Regardless of you're a Republican or Democrat, you can come together on an issue like this. It's a multiplier factor. And just open that corridor up, get that opportunity in Windsor, and then we could go from there.
The group also wants improved passenger rail prioritization with freight trains.
You can't have prioritization of passenger rail unless you prioritize it legislatively or actually build some of the infrastructure to allow the passenger trains to get by the freight trains.
This political push from both sides of the border being held in London, both the geographic center of southwestern Ontario and also home to the fourth busiest VIA station in Canada. Decades of politicians lobbying for better passenger rail service across southwestern Ontario have always eventually seen their efforts derailed. However, Morgan believes this time is different.
What we have different here is a broad-based coalition that is different than we've seen before, with federal government and governments on the other side of the border already committing significant number of dollars to segments of rail improvement projects.
Let's get the rust off the rust belt, get these rails nice and shiny, and let's just get this thing going, because the next generation is going to need it and want it.
Other municipalities participating include Toronto, Oakville, Woodstock, and Chatham-Kent. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
A London man charged in the death of his girlfriend spent a second day on the stand today testifying about their complicated and violent relationship. With more on the second-degree murder trial in St. Thomas, here's CTV's Nick Paparella.
For the second full day, 53-year-old David Yates continued to testify about the volatile relationship he had with his one-time girlfriend, 22-year-old Caitlin Jennings. Again, he spoke about how she would regularly physically attack him. It all came to a head on July 2nd and 3rd of 2023 at 562 Kingsway Avenue in West London. That's when Yates described the final altercation, saying, "She was scaring me. She choked me and blacked me out. I kind of came to on the floor. Then," he said, "she came at me in the kitchen and kicked me in the groin. That's how the oven window got smashed, and I puked in the sink." Yates went on, "She wouldn't stop, and there was no signs of her being injured. There was not a lot of blood." Then the accused said after another chokehold, he grabbed a hammer. "I said stop. Then I turned around and swung at her. I hit her in the face to get her off. I had to pull her arms off of me." Yates said at that point Caitlin wasn't feeling well and wanted to lie down, so he got her a pillow. Then he headed out to the garage to listen to music and do some drugs. And when he returned, he found that Caitlin was non-responsive. "I noticed some discoloration. I tried to get her attention, and she was cold to my touch. I panicked and didn't know what to do." A couple of days later, London police would arrive to find the lifeless body of Caitlin Jennings. An autopsy revealed that she had been beaten to death, suffering 200 wounds and dying from multiple blunt force trauma injuries. Yates would be arrested at the scene and has pled not guilty to second-degree murder. Before wrapping up, Yates spoke about suicide, saying, "This was a full-throttle nightmare for me. I wasn't accepting the circumstances, so I made the decision I didn't want to be here anymore." Yates' testimony is expected to resume on Friday. In St. Thomas, Nick Paparella, CTV News.
Meanwhile, a London plastic surgeon charged with sexual assault has been found not guilty. After a 5-day trial, which started at the beginning of the month, Dr. Robert Richards was acquitted. The judge ruled that despite the evidence from the accused being self-serving, she was left with a reasonable doubt and found the doctor to be not guilty. Staff members from organizations across London were pushing the bus today, literally, to help send kids to camp.
3, 2, 1, push!
This is our annual Push the Bus event. It's basically the ending of our Fill the Bus campaign, where we are pushing buses literally across the finish line in order to raise funds to support kids and families with access to YMCA camps, programs, and services.
Oh, we're going, let's go!
The idea to send a kid to camp for a small donation of $200, every $200 will send a kid to one of their Y camps, and otherwise they don't have that opportunity.
Great job!
It was a lot of a heavier vehicle than I thought it was going to be. Coming here, I thought it was just going to be a quick, easy little push, but you really had to put some weight behind to get a good squat going.
40% of Canadians report losing sleep over their finances, and so it's a really great problem for us to solve. Where that connects with this is access to high-quality childcare and access to camps allows people to get to work comfortably, safely, and they know their children are well taken care of.
So this campaign has a goal of $275,000, and we just passed the $200,000 mark, and we'll wrap it up by the end of summer. So we're really excited for the impact that we're going to see.
Canadian astronaut and Ingersoll, Ontario native Jeremy Hansen is reflecting on his time in space after completing a lunar flyby as part of the Artemis II mission. He recently sat down with CTV London to talk about those experiences and their impact on Canada's role in space exploration. CTV's Brian Bicknell reports.
He's the only Canadian to travel into deep space, but Jeremy Hansen remains firmly grounded to his southern Ontario roots.
My experience was growing up on a farm. Some things that I feel like I still carry with me from those experiences was a strong work ethic and a strong sense of community and teamwork. I really saw on the farm that people come together in times of need. That's just what you did in a small community.
Booster ignition.
In April, Hansen made history as part of NASA's Artemis II mission, the first crewed test flight of the Orion spacecraft, launching on the SLS rocket and flying around the moon. Hansen and 3 other astronauts traveled 1.1 million kilometers in nearly 10 days, farther than any humans in history.
There is a depth to the galaxy that I just didn't expect, and it left me with a true sense of awe. I don't know how else to describe it, as that you can see, like, some stars are closer and some are further, and they're placed and they're all around you. It's not all just out there, it's all around you and you're in it, and that takes your breath away and makes you feel very insignificant.
Hansen is the first Canadian and non-American to take part in a lunar mission. It's something not lost on him.
I always use the opportunity to remind Canadians that that wasn't a gift. We earned that. And this is the result of thousands of people over decades who held big visions. They had the courage to take big risks.
Canada very much went to space, and I rode on your shoulders.
Hansen will continue his role with the Canadian Space Agency, using his experience to support ongoing lunar exploration programs.
There's a lot to be done utilizing space to provide innovation and positive impact for humanity.
And you can see more about Jeremy Hansen on the CTV London website. Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
A science teacher at St. Andre Bessette High School is turning a personal health challenge into a powerful lesson for his students. As CTV's Rita Ismail explains, he's now helping students understand how the body works while raising questions about access to modern health technology.
So you see this spike coming up, and then it's on its way down.
Students in Chris Ramak's biology class aren't just learning from textbooks. they're learning from his life.
Although my numbers are a bit high, they went up quite a bit because I definitely enjoyed all the wonderful food.
The London teacher was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes several years ago. Like many people, he expected to monitor his condition through traditional finger prick testing, but access to a wearable glucose sensor changed everything.
It's like taking photos of an event versus having a sensor which tracks all day. That's like having, a live stream video of an event all day. And so it's really important to have access to that data because it helps us make better choices in real time.
The small sensor continuously tracks glucose levels, giving Shremek a detailed picture of what is happening inside his body throughout the day. And that data has become a teaching tool.
Meg. The black is like the line of like where your levels are actually at, right?
For grade 12 student Meg Harris, the lessons feel less theoretical and more personal.
He definitely does lessons like not where you're just like reading out of a textbook, but you're actually doing labs, getting real world examples of like how all this science is actually going to apply to your life, because a lot of us are taking these courses because we're going into like the medical field.
Thousands of people live with diabetes across London, Middlesex, yet public access to glucose sensing technology remains limited for many Ontarians living with type 2 diabetes. Shremek believes that should change.
This is preventative. This has saved my health and created a brand new timeline for me. And I can't emphasize strongly enough how much we need this.
While Ontario publicly funds glucose sensors for eligible insulin users, many people living with type 2 diabetes who do not use insulin face significant out-of-pocket costs to access the technology. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
Coming up, a historic night for Team Canada. The soccer stars giving fans something to cheer about. Canada's main stock index was weighed down by losses in the basic materials and energy sectors. In Toronto, the TSX lost 156, but in New York, the Dow gained 72 and the Nasdaq added 496. The Canadian dollar dropped half a cent today, and on commodity markets, gold fell more than $135 an ounce, and oil lost 16 cents a barrel. Dominating on the field, crushing their opponents 6-0, the men's team cementing this night as what some may remember as a Canadian heritage moment. Andrew Johnson reports.
They're among these more than 52,000 fans witnessing history at BC Place tonight. Many could have predicted a win over Qatar, but few could have imagined how it unfolded. A 6-0 win, and Jonathan David, Canada's all-time leading scorer, breaking out of a slump in the most incredible way with a hat trick to send these fans home dancing.
I'm fired up. It was incredible. It's the best thing I've ever seen.
It's unbelievable. Like the atmosphere, the crowd.
I never thought I would see the World Cup being played in Canada. And now they're through to the next round. It's a statement win. It's just unbelievable. It's incredible.
I was in the Toronto match. Here I am today. I never thought I'd see it. I'm blown away.
They made the history. Get them in the history. You know, Vancouver always does it like this.
How far can this team go?
All the way, maybe, right? But realistically, quarterfinals.
Canada's group at the World Cup now all comes down to next Wednesday, when Canada will again play at BC Place taking on Switzerland. If they can earn at least a draw, they can win Group B and head on to the knockout round, and once again, it'll be a scene just like this.
Induction weekend at the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame is underway, kicking off with an event in London tonight. As Brent Lale reports, the town of St. Mary's is ready to welcome hundreds of visitors.
It's setup day at the Hall of Fame here. I got a dozen volunteers helping me out, and we're getting ready for the big weekend.
Induction weekend begins tonight with the opening pitch event in London at Toboggan Brewery. It's followed by the golf tournament Friday and induction day Saturday next to the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame.
We got an induction with 6 fantastic inductees, from Devon White and Bill Stoneman, the Expo pitcher, Kate Soda from the national team, Stubby Clapp's one of our favorites. He used to do backflips all the time when he ran on the field. Barfield, and Paul Runge, and also Jim Babbitt.
This is the busiest weekend of the year for St. Mary's, with thousands of tourists expected to arrive in town Friday and Saturday.
We're very proud to be home of the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame and the museum here in St. Mary's. We also welcome lots of baseball tournaments throughout the year, which is a great celebration for us. And it's a great way for our downtown businesses and local restaurants to showcase how great it is. And hopefully we can encourage some people to repeat visit.
The streets are lined with banners as you approach the museum, and some businesses have decorated their storefronts to welcome visitors from across North America.
We're hoping that the people will come down from the Baseball Hall of Fame and come and visit our downtown and come into our stores and see what we have to offer. And we're a very unique town. We have lots of businesses and services that are very unique.
Back at the Hall of Fame.
We're a national museum, right? This is the only Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame in the whole country, and it's in St. Mary's, and that's pretty special, and the town's pretty proud of it.
Brent Lale, CTV News.
Good evening. Winds will ease off overnight, but picking up again as we head into your Friday. Thanks, Jackie, for this photo of Delilah. If you're heading out for a walk with Miss Delilah in the morning, we have some sunshine to kick it off. 13 degrees first thing, so nice and fresh in the morning. Temperatures will average a bit below normal over the next 7. I'll have your weekend weather forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Julie joins me on the desk now. Julie, this weekend is Father's Day. Do you have any plans coming up?
Absolutely. I'm hoping to do some stuff outside with my husband, of course, and maybe have a barbecue. I know lots of people like to plan things to do with Dad. How about you?
I think we're hoping for a pool day, but we'll see what the weather's like.
The weather looks okay Sunday. It's going to warm up a bit.
Okay,
so
perfect.
I'm
good.
Hopeful. Yes, for sure. Be hopeful. Stay hopeful. Across our region, temperatures on the cool side, though, today. But I wanted to recap the storm that moved through yesterday with the heavy rainfall and the wind gusts. These are the peak gusts towards Essex County and Chatham-Kent, so close to 83 kilometers per hour in Windsor. And rainfall under the heavy rainfall limit, but this is enough rain in a short period of time to create a few issues in Midwestern Ontario, Eastern Ontario, dealing with heavy rainfall and some localized flooding. So associated with the storms that moved through, we had that sharp cold front, and the weather story today was the strong wind gusts. We had some wind warnings in effect along the northeastern shoreline of Lake Erie, so Haldimand, Norfolk, in and around Niagara, with wind gusts close to about 90 kilometers per hour. As we head into tonight, the winds will be winding down and easing off briefly before picking up again tomorrow. But we'll get to that in just a second. 20 and 17 are high and low temperature, so coming in about 4 degrees below where we should be for this time of year. Our low pressure system and associated cold front has now pulled that rainfall into the Maritimes, as you can see, and the cold front in between that, we have this tight pressure gradient, so in between systems, and that has resulted in these strong gusty conditions across the area. So winds through the day in London today, gusting 50 to 60 clicks, and then as we head into tomorrow, once again, we'll see those winds gusting in the afternoon. Now, the shift tomorrow will be the winds will be out of the northwest, so that will keep conditions once again on the cool side, especially if you're near the shoreline of Lake Huron. This time of year, people head to cottage country. They like to hit Port Franks, Grand Bend. If you are heading to the beach along that shoreline, temperatures will be cool. Mark my words, it's going to be into the mid to upper teens. So as we take a zoom out, you can see there's that frontal boundary that's moved off to the east. Heading into tomorrow, we do have some sunshine to kick off your Friday first thing in the morning. The winds will pick up progressively through the day and then into the afternoon, getting a bit gusty. The weekend, a little bit unsettled Saturday. There's a few showers that could perhaps put a bit of a damper on your plans. First thing in the morning, you could see a little bit of rainfall. Then we're back into a mix of sun and cloud. And then once again, Saturday afternoon, we could squeeze out a little shower, but not an all-day rain. But Saturday unsettled in comparison to Dad's Day. And we are expecting a bit more in the way of sunshine. Overnight, we'll dip down between 10 and 14 degrees across most of the region. Again, skies will start to break up in terms of partly cloudy, and waking up tomorrow morning to that nice mix of sun and cloud. Northwest winds gust in the afternoon close to 50 kilometers per hour, and the high coming in at 23 degrees. Few showers on Saturday, but full sunshine on Sunday. It'll be Sunday night when the rain moves into Monday morning. Note the temperatures over the next 7 daytime highs from 22 to 23, with the exception, Lauren, Sunday's the day. So we can have a pool day Sunday or perhaps a beach day or head out for a walk. Looks gorgeous across the area on Sunday with more sunshine than showers. Midwestern Ontario, mix of sun and cloud tomorrow, gusty winds and 21. 20 degrees on a Saturday. Your probability a bit lower. You could squeeze out a very light shower, and then lots of sunshine in the forecast for Father's Day. That's a wrap tonight. I'll send things back to you.
Thanks, Julie. Canada's Wonderland is launching a different way to pay for entry to the theme park. Visitors heading to Wonderland may get a season's pass if they're planning to go to the park more than once during the summer. That's because the cost of a single-day ticket is $45 when bought online. But season passes are sold out on their website. Instead, the park has launched a membership option that would see customers charge $9 a month year-round, with other conditions applying. Park owner Six Flags says it hopes the switch offers a more budget-friendly way for guests to visit. The parent company of Sobeys says profit and sales were up in its last quarter compared to the same period last year. Empire Company Limited says it'll boost the dividends it pays out to shareholders after earning $212 million in the period ending May 2nd. The grocery giant, which also owns Farm Boy and Safeway, says some store sales were up 1.7%, with much of that increase linked to fuel sales. A bit of retail nostalgia in Toronto today as Zellers opened the first Ontario store in its national comeback.
The video games, I got my first PS2 and Game Boy Advance from there. The clothes, the nostalgic clothes with the Z on it, the Zeddy Bear, and the infamous diner.
A long line of people braved the rain to be among the first inside the 25,000 square foot store. It'll offer clothing, home goods, and toys, among other things. The first comeback store opened in Edmonton last fall. Another location is set to open in Windsor next month. A local documentarian is celebrating the life and art of an internationally known Indigenous artist who not only created hundreds of Indigenous murals, he also helped design Disney theme parks. Scott Miller reports.
Ani, bonjour, comment ça va? How should go for you? My name is Michael Sywink.
Michael Sywink was an internationally celebrated Indigenous artist who made it his mission to try and fill the void between Indigenous and non-Indigenous culture through art.
Mike was a humble guy. He wasn't in this for money. He wasn't in this for fame. What he was in this for was to make sure that the next 7 generations had the tools that they needed to survive in this dual type society that we have now.
And usually what I do is I just take a brush like this and I just let it rip.
Sywink's art is world-renowned. The native of Manitoulin Island is internationally recognized for his Indigenous-inspired art, completing more than 300 Indigenous murals at Ontario schools, while simultaneously working as an Indigenous culture consultant for Disney theme parks.
He tried to create a bridge between Indigenous culture and, for lack of better words, non-native culture, to provide an outlet for people to learn from.
Billier has brought over 50 pieces of Sywink's art to the Blythe Festival Art Gallery for a show running until mid-July. She's also premiering a documentary, the creation story of Michael Sywink. She shot and produced this Sunday in Blythe. Sywink was supposed to join Billier for the premiere, but sadly and unexpectedly passed away late last month.
I'm so grateful that we were able to capture a lot of that before the arthritis took him.
Billier says Sywink will live on through his art and the art of the many young artists, Indigenous and non, that he mentored.
He's influenced thousands of people in the art world.
In Blythe, Scott Miller, CTV News.
CTV News London has a newsletter helping you start your day with the latest local headlines. By signing up, you'll get local news content from CTV London direct to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewslondon.ca.
Finally tonight, a Port Dover man is living his dream searching for pirate shipwrecks. The adventure in the Bahamas is part of an online series determined to find treasure. CTV's Sean Irvin has the story.
There is this ballast pile, 2 cannon. It was every diver and marine archaeologist's dream.
This clip from the online series, The Mystery of the Pirate King's Treasure, reveals some of what a team of divers and archaeologists found in the port of Nassau. The production is partially self-funded by Port Dover diver and filmmaker Chris Atkins. In each episode, he guides viewers on a quest.
We knew that discovering anything is going to open the floodgates to all of the pirate history of the Bahamas.
Atkins' path to pirate adventures stretches back more than 30 years when he was asked to be a surface videographer for a documentary about the wreck of the SS Atlantic off Long Point. All the while, he yearned to be in the water.
That's when I realized this is what I wanted to do.
Chris secured his diving license and within a few years was filming a documentary beneath the Russian Arctic. He would also win awards for his work on land and in combat and conflict zones.
And the next thing you know, I'm being asked to go to Afghanistan, Iraq.
But the water kept calling, leading to his new series in partnership with wreckwatch.com and marine archaeologist Sean Kingsley. Filmed last fall, new episodes are being released to tens of thousands of viewers online.
The Bahamas is our first real Wreck Watch expedition. It's a real scientific archaeological search of the Bahamian waters looking for pirates.
The episodes take viewers underwater, but also tell the stories of famed pirates who trolled the Bahamas, including the infamous Blackbeard. All the while, the team is searching for the ultimate prize, the Fancy. A 17th century pirate ship suspected to be at rest in Bahamian waters.
The risk of finding nothing was great, but we found 6 wrecks. And of those 6, 3 of them are very, very good candidates for pirate wrecks.
Viewers will see more in the final 2 episodes with a second season possible. Meanwhile, Chris has dreams of finding a long-lost wreck much closer to his Port Dover home. The SS Marquette and Bessemer train ferry. It disappeared on Lake Erie while on its way to Port Stanley in 1909.
There's a lot of mystery and even conspiracy theories surrounding the Marquette and Bessemer. So to find that wreck would really be amazing.
Sean Irvin, CTV News.
That's our time tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Lauren Stallone. Have a good night.